Hello, Next community. I wanted to show you guys. I had a customer that wanted to set up Previous on Windows 11, and of course, I'm running it on um, Mac OS. I think this is Tahoe. It's the latest version, and he also wanted to know if I could set up custom partitions that would let him run a bunch of applications. And I think he's also using it in VMware, which is the Intel version. So I'm assuming this would probably work. It just depends on what the file extension is. Now, with Previous, this is our homebrew 68K emulator we've been working on in the forums. Since I want to say since 2010, 2011, something like that. And so I don't think I've done a video showing how useful it is. I've been able to recover customers all of their stuff from 30 years ago and then transfer it over and allow them to run it on modern hardware, which has brought tears to the eyes of some people. Like they found old love letters and things like that from people that had passed. And so it's been quite a neat thing for me to be able to help people recover all their old NeXT stuff. When I get the hardware here, that's something I like to do. I say, hey, do you want your old stuff? And they really appreciate that. Um, So it's been a labor of love. I'm coming up here on February 9th. It'll be 33 years. So for those of you that don't know, you can download Previous. I think it's available at GitHub. I am not sure what that just did. I think I'm still recording. It's saying something about flow. I've got all these AI tools I'm running now, and some of them just kind of randomly pop in there, so I'm not sure what that one's about. So I'm just going to continue going with what I was talking about here. So this is the Previous main menu, and so what you do is you install it, and then so here over here, I'll go through the whole menu here. So system allows you to pick out which NeXT system you'd like to run, and so we can make it a turbo cube and then add in dimension boards. But for my sanity, just to show an easy representation, let's just run a next station. It's going to be the turbo color. Okay. If you just click turbo, it'll be black and white. We'll click color. And then when you click customize, um, let's make it a nitro so you can run it at 40 megahertz. I do have some accelerator chips available now. We can just leave you can pick from your two SCSI chips. I'll just leave the default here. And then you can have support for ADB devices. And you can also click NBIC, which is what you would want to click if you're running a dimension board. It allows it to talk between the dimension board and the regular. 128 megs is the max. Now we've also got a RAM optimizer. So NeXT runs best at 70 nanoseconds, but now we have a RAM optimizer that'll let us even run at 50 nanoseconds and EDO from Nitro, and I've got those available. It's a bundle. It gets you the accelerator and the little RAM accelerator. So if you have a turbo color and can solder, we've got instructions, and I've got that for $199.95. I've sold a few of them, and people are very happy. So DSP, we're going to use the 56001 chip that's on board. And we can do the DSP memory. I also sell those expansion chips. In this case, we're going to do the maximum, which is 96 kilobit. So now we've got that configured. That's going to be our turbo color system. And we're going to go back to the main menu. Okay, ROM's going to be important. And so here's where you load your ROM files. This allows Previous to handshake with the next operating system. So on turbo colors, you'll want to put the V74 chip in, which I believe is going to be the default. So we just set that up here. And I believe now they just implement these three as default. So you don't even have to download them. I believe you don't. In this case, I provided the customer with these ROM chips that he can point at. So you need the ROM chip. You need to configure the station. We're going to go back to the main menu. For display, this would be for dimension boards. I believe we're just going to pick... Oh, this is all for dimension boards, so we don't have to worry about that because we're not configuring Turbo Cube with dimension board. So we don't have to worry about that. Network. This is kind of cool. You can set it up and you might as well click your NFS shared directory. I believe it sets it up now automatically, which is kind of cool. It's always good to be able to share whatever's on your local hard drive with NeXTSTEP. So that makes it convenient. You can use your local system to go, say, download files from some of our archives and then bring them into NeXTSTEP or through Previous. Okay, so for boot options, we're going to want to boot from the SCSI disk. I like to click all these, perform DRAM, power on, sound test, SCSI tests. We don't want to click loop until key press. We do want to click verbose test mode. We do not want to click boot extending diagnostics. And we can click show VRAM during test, but we don't have to. So then the main ones you want to do is if you have verbose mode versus the graphics, that one's important. And in order for that to appear, you also have to have perform power on test checked. So that's your system parameters or boot options. I'm kind of flying through these, so if you're actually doing it in real time, you can just pause. Okay, now for SCSI disks. So what I've done here is I have a master partition, okay? So when I click select, it's going to jump me into my main directory here. I can probably drag this image in so you can see. So in this case, I've got, Rob Blessin, and then I've got downloads, and then I've got my Zulu OpenSTEP 4.2 master. In this case, I believe those are for 3.3, and for whatever reason, they're under the master folder. So, for the first partition, the HT00 is a boot partition. And so what I've got set up here is 6 2-gig partitions. So we're actually going to be running 6 hard drives, which is pretty neat in Previous. And I've got them all loaded with thousands of NeXT applications. Now that I know I can do this, I can make some really clean masters and move the files and folders around. This is something that was always difficult because I always had to do it on original black hardware. Now that I've got it working in Previous, this is great. I believe it's they've just updated. This is version 3.9. I believe there's a beta 4.0, but it's still actively being developed, and it's becoming easier to use with more functionality, which is great. Okay, so now we have 6 2-gig partitions, and it'll be SCSI 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go back to the main menu. We don't need to worry about a mega optical disk, MO disk, floppy disk. I don't think we're going to need that. You can do it if you want. Keyboard. I believe we'll just do the standard non-ADB. I believe you can do a ADB layout if you want, but I would just leave this the same. It looks like they've added features there too. So this is kind of neat. These guys are really putting in some developer work. Um, so here you can adjust your mouse speed. I just leave it at default. It seems to work pretty good. It looks like they have a wheel function now. That is so cool. I may just try for demonstration purposes. I'll just leave it the same. But that is really cool if they've actually got a scroll wheel working. And I'm wondering if we can bring that feature into NeXTSTEP on real black hardware. That would be phenomenal. Okay, sound is enabled. Cool, so they've got sound working. And then you can even set up a printer. So when you print, it'll actually make a PostScript file that you can go in on your actual operating system and print out. So what we want to do then, once we have everything configured, is do save config. Okay. Then click OK. And then we're going to click OK. Now here, it's going to show you the V74 ROM. You may just need to click default for it to find that V74 ROM. And that seems to work. I'm not sure what that initial one was. It may have been one that I had stored in there, but I think this is new as well. So if you just click default, it automatically points it at the V74 ROM bin that they do have. We're going to click select, and then it should start. And with any luck, this should work. So what we're going to see next is the NeXTSTEP operating system starting up. So it goes testing system, and that's where it's kind of just loading everything into ROM memory, and RAM memory, I should say. And then it's going to spin in, and we'll see all the drivers here, which is kind of neat. Should just take a sec. As I say, we are booting 6 hard drives. Okay, so there's our 128. Now, with any luck, we're going to get it to kick over and then load our partitions. Booting SCSI target 0, no problems there. And it's got the ADB drivers loaded. That's great. And here's our partitions. You'll see 0, all the previous 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's huge. It's going through the rest of the drivers. And then we should get the NeXTSTEP login. And I just set it to root with no password. You'll always want to set a password if you're networking, or else it's going to screw up NetInfo. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case with Previous or not. So here we have, it looks like everything has come up too. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can play around here. My mouse is kind of jumping around. Now, I want to see if there's anything on the network, which will be cool if there is. Let's see if we got an NFS mount. Can we actually see if there's stuff? I'll be damned. Okay, so it is looking out at my network, too. That's great. I'll be danged. Yep, so it's accessing files in the desktop. I gave it permission. So now I can pull anything off of my my Mac Mini hard drive. Wow, this is so cool. Now you have to bear in mind, you don't want to pull in giant files because the limit on this stuff on Next side is 2 gig. And sometimes that's, there's files larger than that we're used to working with. So the smaller the file, the better. Okay. So for now, we're just going to leave all that. And if we go up, we're going to see untitled disks. Looks like they all mounted up here. And so this should be the main disk. And under this, I've got, say, local apps. And what I can do is maybe, let's see if it'll let me drag and drop things here. Okay. Wow, this is really, they've really made strides here. It makes it easy to just drag and drop. And so he was asking, okay, will Illustrator work? Well, we found Adobe Illustrator under Local Apps 1. I see I've got the Daydream app there. He was asking, we've got Mathematica over here. And I think he was also asking about FrameMaker, which I believe I have down here as well. And I've got permission from a lot of the original authors. Over 30 years, I've procured software. I bought the compilation CD rights, and I'm pretty much just doing it, to keep the lights on here at Black Hole. I've been able to get a lot of it released freeware, shareware. A lot of the original authors were happy to hear from me. They're like, we hadn't thought about it in 30 years. It's so neat that you're still doing it. And then, let's see, he said WordPerfect, which I believe is on here as well. And where are you? There's Web Objects, WordPerfect. So we got WordPerfect. And then the last one was, I believe, Improv. Let's see, it should be under Spreadsheets. There we go, Improv app. So, Greg, I think I've got all of the apps on your wish list here. And this is showing that I've got them booting in emulation. Let's go ahead and launch them and see if we can launch all 4 at the same time. Improv came up that fast. That's great. We can test it. Let's just go ahead and test. Sure, that works. 1. All right. So, and then we should be able to save, I guess, as well. Yep. So we can save files, test them. That's not going to be a problem. I guess we just do okay. Okay, so it saved it. And so Adobe Illustrator, if you want to close it, you just click quit. I really like the way NeXTSTEP is efficient and puts everything in the upper left corner. So your menu is always going to be in the upper left. Adobe Illustrator, File New, and I believe we just go to please open a template. Okay, so we're going to have to go probably to local apps. Maybe it's going to be on, it's going to be local apps 1, which is on Untitled Disk 1. And Adobe Illustrator. Gallery. See a tutorial file. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it brings it up. That's great. So you can use Illustrator. Don't save. Now, a lot of these, just for example, if you go into Info, Preferences, sometimes they have help sections. Let's go here, show menus. That's kind of neat. Wow, okay. So they all may have different layouts here. Now what I was looking for is, usually there's an info help section, which I for whatever reason, maybe it's in the info panel, sometimes they have it there. At any rate, let's go to one that I know will have an easy to find help section. Which should be WordPerfect, knock on wood. This is always going to happen to me. Okay, so now if we go into Info, Help, for whatever reason, Adobe, The help files aren't found. Of course they're not. They're probably in here somewhere, man. Okay, but WordPerfect's pretty easy to use. It wouldn't be a live demo unless I screw it up, right? Okay, so let's try FrameMaker. We're going to go ahead and quit WordPerfect. I'm just happy that everything's not bombing. I mean, it's all I did was take my master files that I use for black hardware on my Zulu and BlueSCSI cards I sell, and just dragged them in here. So I'm going to be able to organize everything a lot more efficiently and fast. This is fantastic. I'm even going to experiment and see if I can have potentially, maybe I can bring some artificial intelligence into NeXT. It was actually started on NeXT, but I can maybe have it go through and see if it can organize the files and folders for me. That would be kind of neat to have a little hybrid project like that. Maybe have it set up on NFS Mount. Let's see if we get sound with the Halloween app. I'm curious there. Okay, that's working pretty good. And this is they're gonna get me on the damn licensing for Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I swear to God. I need to record my own song and put it on here versus being rickrolled from the 90s. Let's see here. We want to go to NeXT Mail. That should bomb out, hopefully. Okay, so next apps. Let's just click OK. Is it going to launch my folder? And let's see here. Mailboxes. We should have the active. And, okay. I'm interested to see if we can actually get NeXT Mail going. That'd be cool. Let's see if lip service works. Hello, here is your... Okay, wait a second. Use microphone. Okay, good. Here is your NeXT Mail attachment. Here is your NeXT Mail attachment. Okay, so let's see if it drops it in the folder. Hey, it does. Look at that. So that's what was cool about NeXT is we were doing this in 90s, attaching sound and video and graphics to email. This is before the web. Incidentally, the World Wide Web was invented on NeXT as well. So it looks like we could, in effect, probably configure mail. That would be kind of neat. I'll have to see if I can get NeXT Mail going inside Previous. Okay, games. The 3D gaming engine was started on NeXT, and I believe, with Doom, I probably got Doom in here somewhere. Oh, God, sorry, guys, I still have this cough. I'm hoping I get the sound in here as well. So we've got, if you want to run, let's see, I believe this is soft PC. So if you want to go on an exercise in tortured hell, this would be a good way to punish students. Oh, God. I cannot get over this cough. I've tried everything. Okay, let's see here. Come on. Let's see if it's going to launch. So that should launch the Evil Empire Window 311. And then I believe, let's see, we need to do Win, I believe. Win. Oh my god. So you can actually run Windows 3.11 and DOS 5.0 inside NeXTSTEP, which is pretty neat. Now, I often thought we could probably get Windows 95 running in here as well, too. Maybe some gurus out there might know how to do that, because that would be kind of fun. And that's the Soft PC app. That's cool. That's working here. Let's try and see if Executor works. Now, Executor lets you run all your Mac OS apps. Like, I believe you can run up to Microsoft Word and Excel 5.0 in this. You might even be able to run the Netscape browser. Let's see here. Yeah, this is kind of cool, because that means I can run all my software in inside Previous on modern hardware, which is cool. Okay, we're going to abort. So it's abort. It's not even quit. That's pretty funny. Over here we've got Mathematica. Let's see if Mathematica works. I'll be damned. So we have Mathematica working. And now on these additional drives, as I say, I did load them up. I'm not sure what happened. Let's see where Untitled Disk 2 is. Is there a problem with it? Let's see if it'll work, or is there something corrupt? Local apps 2. I'm just kind of dinking around here. I hope you guys don't mind. This is kind of fun. Okay, next time. So this is like QuickTime. Let's see if we get little videos going. Not sure if that's how I'm supposed to run it. Probably not. I don't think it's looking like a. I'm not seeing a nexttime.app. Maybe that's. Oh, those are just the movies. I probably need to run the app. That's probably just going to give me some gobbledygook. So let's see if we can find the NeXTTime app, which is probably going to be under Next Developer. Demos, maybe. Is NeXTTime here? Or maybe under Next Apps, or come on now. Where are you? Next Apps. Is there a Next Time? Next Library. Okay, or I can search. So we've got the ability to search here too, which is really innovative at the time. Where? Let's see, we could go Tools, Finder, and let's do Next Time. So all this stuff made it possible for Tim Berners-Lee to create the World Wide Web. So while it's looking for Next Time there, it's going through all our stuff. Let's see if we can find web browsers. So all your apps are going to be either installed under apps or local apps. And as I say, I just kind of made all these different local apps partitions because they never thought there was going to be anything above a 2 gig a 2 gig drive back in the day. Okay. So it's kind of like an adventure looking around here. That's why I kind of want to get it a little more organized. And okay, here's we're looking for World Wide Web app. Oh, Rob. Okay. Let's go to Local Apps 3. So, the Lighthouse suite of applications is kind of like the Microsoft Office suite. What happened there is Sun bought Lighthouse, and all the developers that were developing, they put them on Java. And then they released all the old NeXT software free, and it was like over $5,000 worth of software. And so we have all the license keys for that. So you get a nice, it's like presentations. I'm just trying to think of the parallels with Office. You get diagram, you get a nice word processor, database with Variodata and Taskmaster, a wet paint, which is like a drawing app, Parasheet, which is a spreadsheet, and let's see, there's equation builder, concurrence. Oh man, what do they call that one in Windows? I forget. I don't use Windows very often. In Apple, I think it's called Keynote would be an example. So they they could have, when they first were starting out, they could have gone back probably and got all of these apps, but I think they wanted to bring Microsoft into Mac OS so that they weren't losing people left and right, because it would have been hard for people to grasp back then that there was actually a product that was comparable, if not better in some cases, than Office at the time. And it was just kind of when Sun bought Lighthouse, they were trying to put a bullet in the head of NeXT basically by taking out their best software. And then things just kind of worked out. So Apple bought NeXT for $425 million. I've been there through it all. Got Steve Jobs back. And, of course, the rest is history. Now, let's see. I'm just looking here to see if we've got anything that I can maybe do some neat demos of. I'm just happy this is working. This is like the first time I've ever done it this way. After 33 years, I'm still finding ways to come up with it. Okay, let's see if we've got Doom available. Is it already installed? Would I have to install it? And maybe I could show you how to do that real quick, too. Okay, Doom launch, Intel. So usually what you'll see is there's a bunch of different platforms that are supported. So in this case, we're looking for the Doom 68K. Because who doesn't want to play Doom, right? And what's neat about this is you can actually create what are called Doom WADs. So a lot of 3D gaming developers got their start programming Doom levels and then went on careers in creating 3D software. And now it's so scary because AI can do this stuff in minutes, man. It's just unbelievable. I'm taking AI courses just to try and keep ahead of the curve. In fact, I've got one coming up here in about 5 hours, so I'm going to have to go to sleep. What used to take, a team of developers 6 months, you could just give it in 2 prompts, say cinematic. I created, I'll have to show you my little spam blaster game that I created. Well, let's see. Maybe I could just jump out of here. Let's see if I can do that real quick. In what's called Lovable. So I'm going to do Control. I believe it's just Control click. Control click and it'll take me out, right? Okay, and then I'm going to go to So here's my developer skills, guys. People ask, do you develop software? Well, I can show you what I've been working on. And this one was kind of fun if I could get it to come up. All right, where are you? Let's see if it'll bring it up here. Okay. So my idea here is, let's go. Come on, guys. Bam. And, okay, why isn't it working? Oh my God. Not for this. Okay. Implement, preview, hide details, add effects. Sure, add sound effects. Let's do that. And then why isn't it working for me? Visual edits, plan, go. What's it doing here? Thought, detail, timeline changes, run. God. Why do I suck at this? God dang it, man. Dude, it works. Details, timeline changes. What am I missing? Let me build this. Okay. Tracking, edit. Why isn't this working? Back to preview. Let me just... Maybe because it's local here and I need to be on the actual lovable. I bet that's it. Let's see if I did a screenshot. Yeah, here we go. So this is basically when it's running, you can actually... I want to have it... I've got a way where AI goes through, sorts my email, and then it makes it so that you not only can just delete spam, but you can nuke it. And you have different choices. I'd like to show you it working, but of course, it's because I'm not actually in the application, which I believe I should be able to go there if it will let me go to bookmarks. Where are we? Come on, Rob. New tab. New window. Okay. There we go. Projects. There we go. Let's see if it's going to work. Yes. So there it is. And as you can see, you can shoot down spam. So I'm going to have it so that it's actually pulling. This could be huge, right? Because why just delete spam? It's no fun. And of course, you can go through and check to verify. But I get hundreds of spam messages a day. And so with this app, I can add in sound effects. And I want to do power-ups, difficulty progression, high score tracking. So it makes it really easy to create applications. So let's see if it'll do it. Skip. I don't want to collaborate for now. Let's publish project. Okay, so now, hopefully, we'll get some sound. It looks like we're getting some... Let's see if our sound is on. We've got visual edits. So it's that easy. It's going to compile it and then add in your new features. Um, as you can see, we got high scores. We got numbers killed now. All right, well, that gets the idea. So that's what I'm working on AI, is a way for us to kill spam. And so back to previous. For Doom, let's see, I believe we've got to go and open a little terminal window here. It's been a minute since I've done this. And then, let's see, we want to unzip it. So, I believe it's the gun zip command. And then we put a space in, then we're going to drag that in. NI, I believe, means it's for NeXT and Intel platform. I remember you take that little space out at the end with a backspace, and then it should change this from being a tar GZ. Everything was compressed because everything had to be, take up the least amount of space. So now our Doom launch should be, let's see, a tar file. Then we should be able to click it. Then we can take this app and let's just drop it into local apps over here. And I believe it's going to be available now on local apps under Doom launch, and let's see what happens. Knee deep in the dead, you can set up all your different parameters. Get doomed. And too young to die. Let's do that. Monitor. I might command line of Doom. Okay, so this may just be setting it up now. I'm not sure if this is the actual game. It's been a minute. Get doomed. Okay. What's that mean? Too young to die. Skill level. All right, so let's go back. Now it's personal. That was what? Local apps 1, or was it on disk 3? We found it. Where are you? And so, let's see, I want to put the local apps underneath each one here too. Let's do that. Makes it a little easier to navigate. Okay, let's go disk 2, for example. I want to add disk 2 because I don't see it up here on the shelf. So I'm going to throw this up here. Disk 2. Local apps, disk 2. Get a little bit of organization. Oh my God. Let's go to, of course I can't find it now that I need it. Untitled disks, local apps 1. Come on now. All right, guys. Let's see how Blast app works. How about that? Okay, so this works. A little helicopter blasting game. So you got hundreds of applications in here. Now, a lot of these apps were developed by 1- and 2-man shops. And it was amazing how much you could fit on a floppy. As I say, the 3D gaming engine, Carmack and Romero, the developers, John Carmack and John Romero, actually customers, said they wouldn't have been able to do it on any other platform. And it's actually, I believe, the 3D gaming engine they still use today. So it gave them XYZ, vectors, so you could actually do things in 3D. And then finally, let's see if I can find the World Wide Web app. If I can actually do something productive rather than chase my tail here, that would be wonderful. Gosh, man. Local apps? This is why I want to organize all this stuff too, so I'm not looking like a fool here jumping around. Watch me files. Let's see if maybe just maybe it'll let me, if I click something. Okay, this is cool. So this is actually the demos showing. Let's see if we're actually going to get sound here. How to use the app? Where's our sound? Come on, Rob. Let's see. Let's go over to preferences. Preferences. Give me sound. Let me go to preferences, sound. Let's see if we got sound checked here, or if it's muted. Sound, where are you? Volume is down. That's probably why we're not hearing anything. Okay, yep. Now we're going to have sound. So let's try this again. Is there sound? Okay, let's go ahead and can it. I believe we can just do that. Let's see if we can find one with sound. But these are actually, it allowed the developers to actually show you how to use these applications, which is really nice. I wish I would have known about this back in the day. This is something that I found that is really pretty cool. And then we should have a toggle here that lets me set the sound so that it's audible. Is that here? Maybe that's this. Let's try that. I bet that's sound. Yeah. Okay, let me try that. I'm going to click this. Okay, and then we're going to turn the sound up.
Here's a collection of mission-critical games, like billiards and chess. Okay, just kidding. Now, let's drag and drop an image into a Virtuoso document.
So probably a lot of you guys didn't even know this stuff was available for NeXT, right? And I've got it all in my master folder, and I'm showing that it can be available now on Previous.
On grab option and serves screen space by making the background
I can do this for just a nominal fee. It helps me keep the lights on here. And I've purchased the rights to, and got permission to do this, including from Apple. So I'm probably one of the last people on the planet that can still sign Apple licenses legally.
Unlimited descriptions in the rich text.
And I have done a lot of work with the Apple legal on prior art patent litigation cases.
These description fields can be searched, so finding the right file is even easier.
Hey, I'll do a series on these as well, because that's cool. I can actually show you apps and have the original developers explaining what they do, because a lot of them are even useful today. So, that being said, I think that should help Greg show that, hey, you can run all your original apps. I've got a way to do it now. I'm going to Dropbox in my image, and it's for his use only. I would ask that you not when you have my image not shared around out there, I mean, this is kind of how I have to pay my assistant. I have to eat. I have to keep the lights on, and I do sell turnkey solutions on Zulu as well as BlueSCSI, and I do it for $199, and that includes a nice SD card, the Zulu card or the BlueSCSI card, and thanks to Alex over at Rabbit Hole, and then Eric for BlueSCSI. So it's kind of neat. I get to test out the early models. We've also got the Quokka that lets you use USB keyboards and mice for NeXT. Got the replacement sound cards. I can 3D print stuff. So it's a labor of love. I do repairs. We do new capacitors. So stay tuned. More fun stuff to come from the black hole. And I am going to go ahead and log out here. And I hope you all have a great day. As I say, I would do more, but I got to get up here in about 4 hours for these master level AI classes that I'm taking for the next 6 months. I already completed the first section, and it is just amazing. It's like by the week, stuff keeps coming up that's just changing the whole face of everything. That's why I want to be on the side of it that understands, the underpinnings of AI, so that I've got a handle on it and can use it to help other people. I'm also going to show you guys what I'm learning. And once I get a little better at it, I'll have nice lessons on here, so I can teach you how to use AI apps too. I think that'll be kind of fun. And I'm trying to mix it up here to keep it a little entertaining. I hope I'm not coming off as too much of a clown, jumping around here, but I'm just kind of winging this stuff. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate. I'm going to be repairing a NeXT laser printer here that's going for a display in the Department of Homeland Security in Washington, D.C., and for the director, Will Gaskins. That's going to be coming up. And some other fun stuff here. I've got a bunch of sound boxes that I'm integrating for guys who bought them on my Computer Powwow eBay store. And of course, I am the next black hole website's coming up too. So that's another thing that's not just going to be a pipe dream here shortly. So as I learn more about the AI features and functionality, I'm getting better at all this stuff. Now, if I can see, did I escape that? And can I shut down the recording? I can't see my cursor. Where are you? Okay, are you letting me jump out of this? It says to do, what is this? Control, click, right? Okay, there we go. Yay! Stay tuned. More fun stuff to come from the black hole. Little bit haphazard. I'm going to try and figure out so you guys can see my ugly mug as well. I've got a second iPhone now, so I'm going to be improving my videos as we go along. Always room for improvement. Never too old to learn. Have a good day.